beforehand. All right. Just a reminder, turn your cell phones to vibrate off or mute, and we'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
Like always, and I know I say this, and you guys probably ignore the first statement, but I do appreciate you guys coming out and covering Penn State football. I also appreciate the people that you work for allowing it, because the industry obviously has changed a lot. So we appreciate you guys coming out and covering Penn State football and the support that we get. We talk about the stats that we talk about each week. We lost the field position battle. We're not punting great. We got to get that cleaned up. Turnover battle we won, which we don't understand how important that is. Penalty battle we lost by some yards, not total penalties. Explosive play battle we won. So those things are positives. Most importantly, we played complementary football. Offense, defense, and special teams all doing what we had to do to win. I must admit the kickoff return was a thing of beauty. We've just invested so much time on special teams, so I was really happy for Stacy and Eric Raisbeck, as well as our players, obviously. You know, to have some success on that. Hadn't had a whole lot of success on it yet, so that was big for us. But we're playing good complementary football. You know, I think we scored 3 non-offensive touchdowns, which is special. We're playing really good on defense. We've done it for multiple weeks. It didn't feel like that early in the game because of the field position. Our defense was in tough spots from a field position perspective, but overall, we're playing really well. Defensively, you think about it, we got 16 different players with a sack. I don't know if I've ever heard that stat before. That's an impressive stat. We got a lot of guys that are able to contribute, so that's been awesome. Offensively, early on, if you look at this team from a statistics standpoint, you know, they're a pretty good defensive team. Shiano has done a really good job his entire career with that. Once we were able to make some adjustments in the run game, they were outnumbered us in the run game. We were able to make some adjustments there with our Mike IDs, and then some of the things from a protection standpoint. Once we were able to get those things resolved, and I thought we did a pretty good job offensively and moved the ball. We got 2 running backs that are erasers for us that make big plays. There's a really cool stat if I can find it. Thank you. First time I've had 2 pages of notes. Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton are the first freshman duo in Big Ten history with 700 plus yards in the same season, which is a great stat. So a lot of good things. You know, probably the thing I'm most proud of with the staff and the players is, as you guys know, we don't report injuries, but we've had a lot of moving parts, and the coaches have handled it the right way, not allowed it to become an excuse. The players have handled it the right way. I also think we got some depth. We got some young, talented players that have been able to come in and step in and allow that to not be an issue for us as well. So, you know, I'm proud of it. But overall, good win on the road. You look in college football, you know, walking up the stairs, Chris was telling me some scores. You know, winning's hard to do. We're fortunate to be 1-0 this week, so open up the questions.
Start with Rich.
You mentioned injuries. I'd like to ask you about 2 of your players. First, Parker Washington status, and secondly, Curtis Jacobs return today. What do you see for injury?
Yeah, I will have to wait until Tuesday to talk to you about Parker. I want to make sure I'm clear with what's going on, and then I have not talked to Parker yet, so I'd like to be able to do that first, and then I'll make sure I answer your question on Tuesday. Curtis,
having him back.
Yeah, you know, you talk about an experienced linebacker who's played a ton of football for us. He's athletic. You know, he's a playmaker for us. He's playing with more and more confidence each week. So yeah, having a veteran guy like that back is really good. We're in a situation now where our depth of linebackers pretty good. I wouldn't have said that at the beginning of the season. You know, right now Elston and Kobe are both playing really well, and now you got, you know, get Curtis back. You know, we got pretty good depth really across the board.
Todd and then Sommer.
Coach, your Big Ten blowouts aren't commonplace. You guys are really putting it to the last 4 wins, like outscored 175-41. Does this team have a killer instinct? What do you attribute some of these stress-free victories at the end of the game, and with this particular team, how you guys are playing right now.
I don't know if I would describe it like that, stress-free, but you know, I got a ton of respect for Coach Shiana and Rutgers. They played hard, and we're getting better. You know, we're getting better each week. And that's really, you know, your objective is to try to get better every single week, at home, on the road, conference opponents, whatever it may be. And I do think we're doing that. I think we're getting better, you know, each week. We got a ton of guys playing, a ton of guys getting reps, which always makes me feel good as the head coach. To, you know, I know how hard those guys in the locker room work, and some of them don't have an opportunity to see the field. So it's always great when we get a bunch of guys some opportunities to see reps.
Sauber the Marks.
James, how would you evaluate? You mentioned Parker. How would you evaluate the wide receivers that stepped up at this stage?
Yeah, you know, I think pretty good early on. We weren't in rhythm the way I thought we needed to be, but yeah, you know, Parker obviously not having him for this game, that's a big loss, as you guys know. You know, a good percentage of our passing game has gone through him. You know, not just this year, but last year. He's a leader for us as well. So I thought those other guys, you know, did a nice job. Obviously, we're going to have to build on it. But we'll see how this plays out with Parker, but we're going to have to build on it. Either way, either rep count's going to go up.
Mark and then Johnny.
James, you were able to get Drew a lot of snaps with your first team line, probably because you don't really play as many lines. But seriously, to get him out there, what does that mean, and how do you think he performs?
Yeah, every time he gets on the field, it's positive, right? It's a good thing for him. It's a good thing for our program. We're creating depth. We're getting him experience. We're getting him opportunities. I wish we weren't so banged up on the offensive line so that we feel like we could make some changes, get some guys off the field. I don't really like having Drew Scruggs in there for the whole game, but to be able to, you know, get some of those guys in that you really feel like can go in and still execute the offense the way it needs to be executed. You know, I was trying as long as we could to keep those guys in so Drew could get, you know, a true evaluation and a true opportunity. But then at some point we had to sub some guys in there. But overall, you know, he's gotten a lot of reps, you know, this year. I think Kristen showed me a stat. You know, he's got a decent amount of reps. You know, think about as many games that we've been able to, kind of back to your point, we've been able to have a point differential that's allowed us to get a lot of guys on the field. And obviously a big part of that's true.
Johnny and then Pickle. Johnny.
Abdul, again, making a lot of plays in NSN since he has obviously in progress really this season and specifically the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is he's made really the splash plays from the very beginning. The thing that probably is hard for you guys to tell when you're watching the game always is his missed assignments are going down every single week. So, you know, it gives you a lot more confidence, you know, that you can put him in there, and not only are you going to get the good plays, but the plays that we have to eliminate as a young player, you know, those are reducing. He's always been super mature. I've talked to you guys about that. Very smart. He's taken really the right approach, you know, since he stepped on campus. And as you guys know, if you watch him, he's got unbelievable burst and acceleration once he makes up his mind. And whether that's chasing down a ball carrier or being able to change direction and bring down a quarterback, you know, he can burst. He can burst and change direction and run. So not very often you have a true freshman and also one that's 235 pounds that's doing it. But he's obviously been a major factor for us on defense, and allowed us to, you know, maybe kind of overcome, you know, not having Kurt for a week. You know, those things have been really helpful.
Pickle then Ron.
So with your freshman coach, with Drew Shelton, did the bumps and bruises force you to burn your red shirt, or was that a choice you guys had and decided to make? And then on Alex Paquette, how has he improved over the course of the year or two? Be on the field last week and this week, and do you expect to keep rotating him and Barney moving forward?
Yeah, we'll see how it works out with Piscataway. He's got a really strong leg. You know, when he hits his A ball, it's as good as anybody. So we'll continue to evaluate that. You know, it was great to see Barney handle it the right way, come back in, and then I think he hit a 63-yarder, which was huge. So, you know, maybe that was the right thing. Maybe I should have did that earlier. But that was a positive. With Drew, you know, we had a bunch of conversations. We were going to start JB at tackle this week. And we still would have been in a tough spot with JB as well based on games. Had a conversation, you know, as a coaching staff, had a conversation with Drew's mom, had a conversation with Drew. He wants to play. We feel like he gives us the best opportunity right now. And playing 7 games as a true freshman with a good percentage of them as the starter, that's a worthwhile burned red shirt, if that makes sense. So just kind of had that conversation, made sure we're all on the same page, and kind of go from there.
Last one around.
What did Sean running the football really do to get your offense to start after kind of a slow start? What did he do to really get things started with his rushing?
Yeah, I think that's a part of Sean's game. It helps you even the numbers a little bit when they're dropping a safety down into the box. That factors into it as well. It's frustrating as a defense or as a defensive coordinator when you stop the traditional run and you're able to get pressure in the pass, and then the quarterback's able to be productive with his feet. So to me, that's something that is always needs to be a part of our game plan with Sean. It was also pretty cool to see Lamar Alar go in and go down the sideline for 30 yards or whatever it was. At 6'5", 242 pounds. The fact that he's got enough mobility that people have to be concerned about him too. He does it a different way and kind of runs through arm tackles like they're not even there. But I think that running game and that mobility to quarterback position is really important.
Thank you, Coach.
Awesome.
We're going to
Thanks,
do
guys.
players out on the field. We're going to do players out on the